Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers from the Guardian newspaper, will flip over to the leadership newspaper. MB list new 20.707 billion naira shares on NGX. Governor Fubara appoints Asari Dokubo, three others as traditional rulers in Rivers. Boca King pioneers Africa's first shipping container restaurant. Customs seizes illicit drugs worth 20.3 billion naira at One Port. Dangote Cement doubles students' bursary payment in Benue. Rain Hook Cross River advances $350 million railway project to boost tourism. Foundation targets 1,000 Abian youths for training. Presco raises 100 billion naira bond issuance to drive expansion. MTN unveils study to protect children online. Naira opens 2025 steady across markets. Nigeria has 40.2 million agricultural households. NMPC to Obasanjo Port Harcourt refinery operational. Seasonal demands boost business activities in December. Post solid improvement. Housewife kills husband in his sleep. Fulfill outstanding promises for industrial harmony. SSANU urges federal government. Catholic priest detained for shooting man dead. The fragile state of policing. A nation at war. 5 days in Israel. Kidnappers, murderers frustrate Christmas, New Year celebrations in Delta community. Mrs. Oti doles out 1.4 million naira to first babies. 290 FCT Christian pilgrims depart for Holy Land amid appeals for respect. Prayer. Niger. JIBWIS warns against ungathered statements. Niger. JIBWIS warns against unguarded statements. Rivers, APC force Fubara's over budget presentation to Oko Jumbo-led assembly. Federal government returns history to school curriculum. Opposition parties in disarray over 2027. Telecos continue push for 100% tariff hike. Terrorism allegation. Northern group tackles Niger leader. Police bust woman-led phone theft syndicate. Arrest 5 suspects in Kanu. FCT FA suspends 2 board members over gross misconduct. Catholic priest allegedly kills boy over knockout in Imo. No going back on demand for independent Yoruba nation. Igoho. Police nab man for alleged defilement of 10-year-old girl in Niger. British rapper Stormzy banned from driving 9 months. 27 migrants die in shipwrecks off Tunisia. US issues do not travel advisory for 7 African countries. NMPCL challenges Obasanjo to tour of Port Harcourt refinery. 2027 opposition aggrieved APC leaders in talks for alternative platform. Lukman, you can't question my Ballon d'Or award. Rodri tells Ronaldo. 2024 National Drug Law Enforcement Agency seizes 8.400 kilogram of drugs, arrest 1,345 suspects in Kanu. Tide, Mesishinwu, husband distribute food to single mothers, others. As controller of works murdered in Kwara, UK, imposes travel ban, phone restrictions on human traffickers. World's oldest Olympic champion, Keleti, dies days to 104th birthday. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to the Vanguard newspaper. Rivers elders demand apology from Wike for insulting Odele. Federal government deficit spending rises 28% to 12.1 trillion naira. 2027, we have not agreed on merger with any political party. Obi, ex-federal works controller killed on New Year Day in Kwara. New Year, PANDEF, Afenifere, INC, YCE, NMPP, others disagree over Tinubu's message. Federal government's deficit spending rises 28%. We've taken this. Tinubu's refusal to honor Sheyi's pact with us disappointing. Nnamdi Kanu's family. NMPC invites Obasanjo to inspect Port Harcourt Warri refineries. Adeleke violated traditions, customs in appointing Owa Obokun willing. Tax reform bills be nationalistic in your approach. Renyaju to NLC. Many injured as two Edo Council chairmen impeached. Facts, figures betray Tinubu's performance claims. Obi. Divorce rate in our society is disturbing. Falana. El-Rufai storms Kaduna, visits ex-commissioner in police in prison custody. El-Rufai storms Kaduna, visits ex-commissioner in prison custody. 10 biggest sporting events to look out for in 2025. How we stopped Tinubu from accepting Yaradua's ministerial offer. X. For more on that story, get yourself a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Anthony Joshua visits Tinubu in Lagos. Musician set to wed 3 wives same day in Delta State. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. From the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. Tinubu bold, sincere in addressing Nigerians' problems. Kalo. Why Yaradua rejected Dangote's $750 million offer to manage Kaduna Port Harcourt refineries in 2007. Obasanjo. Imo. Police arrest Catholic priest for shooting teenager. Navy hands Seme Customs 6 suspected smugglers 126 bags of rice. Obi, no major deal with PDP and MPP tackles Tinubu. Prepare for defeat in 2027. Kanu and MPP tells Tinubu. Tinubu, politics of tax reform. Alia Akume, face off, threatens APC's chance. Obi, no major deal with PDP. We've taken this. 2027, ex-APC National Working Committee member urges electorate to vote out party. Tinubu, bold. We've taken this. Federal government approves a fresh bailout fund to clear CRFFN's 5-month salary backlog. NAHCO appoints Olumekun GMD. Upgrade airspace surveillance makes Nigeria's skies safer. NCAA boss. Upgraded airspace surveillance makes Nigeria's skies safer. NCAA boss. That's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. From From the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. OT bans school levies, approves monthly allowance for principals, demand accountability from government. Akume tells Benue youths. Zulum visits Bama to boost resettlement plan. Tackling insecurity will improve the standard of living. Bafara. Tackling insecurity will improve standard of living. Bafarawa. Ayedatiwa pledges accountability, demands workers' commitment. Taraba plans to address hunger with 10,000 metric tons of grains. 6-month delay in local government autonomy. Kick-off disappointment. NULGE. 6 months delay in local government autonomy kick-off. Disappointing. NULGE. Economic hardship will cost Tinubu 2027 re-election. NMPP. Subsidy gains. Labour scores governors low as allocations rise by 1.7 trillion naira. My absence from Tinubu's house visit not political. Bauchi governor. Radio station gets MBC nod for Lagos operation. Group urges Kanu to speed up action on disability commission. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning, Taraba plans to address hunger with 10,000 metric tons of grains. Cross Rivers Governor laws tertiary education trust funds impact on higher education. Bauchi Chamber of Commerce rejects federal government's tax reform bills. Non-governmental organization shares food items in Ogun community. Kogi councillor repairs community boreholes with December salary. JAC declares indefinite strike in Bauchi tertiary institutions. Group hails Sultan for conferring traditional title on ex-governor Yari. Group salutes frontline troops and remembers fallen heroes. Bauchi Chamber of Commerce student group oppose tax reforms. Gunshots. Protests as suspended Edo local government chairman impeached. Northern Group demand apology from Niger Republic over destabilization allegations. HOS urges workers' commitment to ministries, department, agencies, goals. No governor can take insults I received from Wike's camp. Fubara. Improve agric security. Katsina leaders tell Tinubu. Cheu Boronu says unity, peace, essential for national development. Police nab woman who killed husband with pestle while asleep. Jigawa Christian communities commend the senator for Yuletide rice, cash gifts. Bauchi strategizes to implement local government autonomy. Educational tax, federal government, ASU, plan talks over removal. APC kicks as Obi wants Tinubu against foreign medical trips. 1,845 Nasarawa flood victims to get federal government relief packages. That's the most we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. Troops foil potential IED attack, intercepts terrorist Korea. Biafra, Tinubu refused to honor agreement to release Nnamdi Kanu family. 2025, fix electricity crisis or revert fuel price hike, idam to Tinubu. Nigerian troops arrest woman transporting ammunition to terrorists in Zamfara. Drunk Zambian policeman frees 13 suspects to celebrate New Year. Many injured as Edo local government councils impeach chairman. Ryan Hook Limited, Cross River State advance $350 million Grand Littoral Railway project to boost tourism connectivity. Jigawa, ensure no one dies because of medical bills. Governor Namadi urges healthcare providers. NMPCL invites Obasanjo to tour Port Harcourt refinery. EPL, Arsenal suffers fresh blow ahead Brighton clash. Italy summons Iranian ambassador over jailed journalist. Italy summons Iranian ambassador over jailed journalist. Tinubu working hard to reverse hunger in Nigeria. Ojo Zokalo. And that's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers. Please stay with us.
Ebona, the 103.5 FM OBD presents Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Are you an upcoming model, actor, rap, R&B, gospel, reggae, or high life musician? Are you trying to find your footing on social media? Do you want to earn money with talents and skills? Do not look any further. Sign up for Ebona, the 103.5 FM Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Today, you will have the opportunity to learn and become an expert in video coverage, photography, film editing, music production, advertising and social media marketing, content creation, filmmaking, radio drama, magazine production, and many more. Register today at Ebona, the 103.5 FM Ogidi, opposite Ogunike Boys, inside European Residency Hotel Ogidi. For more information, call or WhatsApp 080 6579 6599. Have thine own way,
Ikele Chineke maka ezi ndị ya n'ụwa, anyị bụ ndị ezinụlọ late Chief Dr. Ụbọbụike Clement Onyekwe na Ogidi nke dị n'okpuru ọchịchị Idemili Local Government, Anambra State, ji ohere wee na-ekwupụta ọnwụ nne, ọnwụ nwunye, ọnwụ nnekwu nne na ọnwụ nwanne anyị nwaanyị bụ late Lady Grace Ifeoma Chinwọbọ Onyekwe, nne Chijioke nke gbara afọ 81 wee laa mmụọ. Usoro emume elimozu ya ga-abụ ụbọchị Tọzdee 9 Jenụwarị n'afọ 2025. A ga-amụrụ ya anya abalị na ngwurube ya n'Ogidi. Maka mbulata ozu ya, ụbọchị Fraịde 10 Jenụwarị 2025, ngwa ngwa ọ kụrụ elekere 10 n'ụtụtụ, a ga-emere ya mmemme ofufe ero maka ili ozu ya. Nke ahụ gasịa, emume ịkwa ozu mgbalụ nke ndị enyi na ikwu na ibe ga na-agazi n'ihu. Nna anyị, ka mmụọ gị zuru ike na ndokwa. Amen. Onye binyere aka n'ọkwa bụ Mrs. Onyekwe Chinechere Mba.
Whiter than snow.
Abụ onye Anambra amụrụ ọda gengem na ọ na-abụ mbata Anambra steeti na-achọ ebe ibe na-eme ọ dịka enwe ife na-akọ m. Ya m wee kpọọ ezigbote enyi m nwoke wee jụ ya kedu ebe ibe na-eme na Anambra steeti. Ọ wee sị m ka ọ na m anụbeghị maka Residency Hotel Yofi n'Ogidi. M wee sị enyi m nwoke ọ gịnị na-eme na Residency Hotel Yofi n'Ogidi? Ọ sị m chelụ, sị m na ebe ọ na-achọ ịpịọ m na-abụ ole, sị m na enwe executive rooms and suites n'Ogidi na Residency. Sị m ka m ejego na dia restaurant ka atasigodo na chef fadebelu de na aka adọrọkwa ya mmanụ ebe a na-esi esi na ọkwa nlisie mkpọ. Wee sịzi m na m bịaja na dia outdoor arena ebe a na-eme ma wedding, traditional marriage, dedication, naming ceremony, shows and displays. Some na banwe swimming pool na ọkwa nwepụ ka weather shide ntụgbu onwe m n'ime mmiri lozi afọ na enwe ife na-eme. Wee taa aka sị na ebe a dịkọta ife m na-eme. Aga m anọ na Residency Hotels Yofi n'Ogidi ka nwa aṅụrị tọla atọ. Ezi enyi m gwalụ m nwanne na Residency Hotel Yofi n'Ogidi dị well secured in a serene environment. Ọ dị na kilomita 13 Old Enugu Onitsha Expressway. Solukwa m maka ana m eje de enwe fon nọmba onye m ga-eji buku ya na 081 40 933 512. Ana m akpọkwa just now ka m bukuo.
Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Napapoa production.
My business.
When I will tell you, AJ radio drama, HJ Radio Drama Ebigo Ghana Dialogue every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, upon our 103.5 FM. If you move and finish your
Abana ni rewa dira ammo. Ko ina ga da na ma ko na ne ko na yi. Ke ka ku ta wala ala ma wuku na ya ma wale shi.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonadi FM, who will, as the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be?
Our government,
Whatever. Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanju, number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonadi 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds
in your face.
On Emazine Ebonadi corner
24/7, 24/7.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on Ebonadi 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. We are on to the Nation newspaper. Poor welfare chasing young Nigerians from lecturing, says ASU. Birth certificates, over 10 million children registered in 2024, says MPC chairman. Obi seeks inclusion of North Central Commission in 2025 budget. Insecurity, intelligence sharing key to our successes, says Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps. We will continue to sustain programs inherited from APC, says Osun Governor. Bajabiamila celebrates 2025 Surulere Baby of the Year. Abu Razak to partner traditional institutions for Kwara's prosperity. Adeleke vows to boost Osun economy with Adire. Agency boss hails Tinubu on this day, Man of the Year award. Dawn 6 training to tackle under 5 mortality. Dawn 6 training to tackle under 5 mortality. Ababio Abbas pledge support for Mr. President. Nel Fund has paid 24 billion naira as loan upkeep for 335,000 students. With my red bureau, I will deal with my political opponents, says Fubara. Pope Francis advocates debt forgiveness for poor countries. Expect dividends of reforms. Ababio, First Lady, urge Nigerians. First Lady, governors, wives, welcomes babies. And that's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Still on stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Nation newspaper will flip over to This Day newspaper. Ngozi Okoji-Iweala is This Day Women of the Year. This day unveils winners of Young Global Leaders of Commemoration Awards, winners, Lifetime Achievement Awards. Obasanjo doubts workability of Port Harcourt Warri refineries despite NNPC's announcement. LCCI, Tinubu's New Year speech projects critical themes crucial to nation's growth. Opeboro, governors will support Tinubu to achieve food sufficiency, bring succor. Court dismisses suit seeking to compel Fubara to represent the 2024 budget. Court dismisses suit seeking to compel Fubara to represent 2024 budget. Chetima to perform official graduation of 1,128 skills acquisition students in Nasarawa. Nigeria requires a selfless exemplary leadership across government, Obi insists. LCCI, Tinubu's New Year speech projects critical themes crucial to nation's growth. Still on the stories making the headlines on This Day newspaper this morning, FEM unveils drop app to revolutionize e-hailing in Nigeria as NANTA identifies ways to higher growth in 2025. Stock market gains 155 billion naira in first trading session of 2025. NAMAMD extends New Year wishes to staff, aviation stakeholders, ending domestic flights delays, cancellations, when oil boss celebrates Idumoje, Uboko women, children. How realistic is Ondo's 698 billion naira 2025 budget of recovery? Ezokenwa, dream of Apga's founding fathers are realizable under my watch. And that's the much we can take from This Day newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from This Day newspaper will flip over to Nigerian Tribune newspapers. Top 20 most read stories on Tribune Online. APC slams Peter Obi, says Tinubu's economic policy is working. 2027, no agreement yet. Obi breaks silence on pact with Atiku Kwankwaso. Local government autonomy, I have no disagreement with governors. Tinubu, a wake-up call for social welfare reform. Situating Ahmed Aliyu's 2025 budget of transformation for Sokoto. When charity leads to tragedy, a sage garden analysis ahead of midterm, emerging signs favorable for Tinubu administration. Free and fair elections, Nigeria's poor rating of INEC. Ebonyi commissioner awards scholarships, enrolls 50 in health insurance. Police mob lynches woman accused of witchcraft in Benue. Jigawa government expands free health care access to 235,287 vulnerable residents. Why I visited Babangida in Mina. Peter Obi, Zambian drunk officer allegedly releases 13 detainees to celebrate New Year's Eve. APC slams Obi, says Tinubu's economic policies working. Man linked to Cybertruck explosion outside Trump's hotel is Special Forces soldier, officials. New Orleans attacker, Shadum Dean Jabba, 100% inspired by ISIS, FBI. Plane crash, Jeju Air offices raided. CEO barred from leaving South Korea. FBI probes terrorist links in New Orleans. A truck accident killing 15. What's happening in UK is crazy. Elon Musk. And that's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune newspapers. And that will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebonadi 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 3925 6742. Now we flip over to our WhatsApp portal for your reactions. On our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Comrade Manly Oduago from Odumobosi, and he says, Nigeria, my Nigeria, where are our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his economic team are strictly using the terrible weapon of high taxes, debt, and inflation to put Nigerians in a train wreck of catastrophic proportion is evident. There have been many conspiracies of the rich and government both in the past and the present. There will be more conspiracies in future. What do Nigerians expect when money and power is at stake? There will always be conspiracies except Baba God intervenes. Comrade Manly Oduago from Odumobosi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message is coming from Mwaloto Patrick from Monteje, and he says, I think P2B is eminently correct by urging Tinubu to embark on a nationwide listening tour. Obviously, that will enable the president to feel the pulse of the citizens and at the same time be able to see by himself the condition of the people in a particular state and find out exactly what they need most. As a president, I know that there is no way he will know what is happening in each state, because his political aides, who are mostly praise singers, will continue to tell him what he would like to hear as against what is the real situation. So by visiting all the states by himself will definitely enable him to live up to his responsibility as president of a country. Mwaloto Patrick from Monteje, thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our WhatsApp portal, we'll flip over to our SMS portal. We have this message. It's coming from Ogochukwu Ifechukwu from Ogidi, and she says, Wike must kneel down and apologize to Odele as a Rivers elders demanded, and no need of forming another party because Labour Party must win in 2027 election. Ogochukwu Ifechukwu from Ogidi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Also on our SMS portal, we have this message. It's coming from Honorable Onyedeka Osakwe, and he says, Obasanjo has now become a priest and failed to understand that he is part of the woes bedeviling this nation. If there is a magic that can take the nation out of this quagmire, it will be welcomed, as the nation has returned to the point of no return. Honorable Osakwe continued and says that the Catholic priest that shot a boy did not reflect the spirit of a shepherd, as the boy action is not as heinous as things being encountered on daily basis. The woman that kills his husband with pesto is only but a living devil. Honorable Sakwe continued and said P2B should shun being arrogant and try to associate with Atiku, Kwankwaso and others and form formidable force and push the APC government out, as the APC has no reasonable plan and agenda for this nation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Honorable Onyedeka Osakwe. And still on our SMS portal, we have this message. It's coming from Agonabo. He's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibo, and he says, we will revenge against the Fulani militia, if not call them in order, call them to order. Okay, to federal government is actually a wake-up call for the government. Accident in Nigeria is caused by bad rules. It is a welcome development if our refinery is working and can host our economic priest. Okay, how can a priest kill child for knockout? Is unfair. Nigeria is a country where we have little hope. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Ognab from Alfa Agluzibo. Now we also have this message. It is coming from Mayor Onyinjikoka, and he says, please, what about the release of Nnamdi Kanu? Have Igbo leaders forgotten him to be there? We are not getting it right. We Igbos, most especially our elites. Let's think twice. If it is other tribes, this will be thing of the past. Igbo still no going back on Yoruba nation. If an Igbo person that says this by now, he would have been a wanted person. We are not, Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our SMS portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Akide Amoke Onyana Bana Umunachi, and he says a priest killing a teenager over knockout shooting is very bad. From Akide Amoke Onyana Bana Umunachi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. On our WhatsApp portal, we have this message. It's coming from Obiora from Okozo, and he says, Tinubu working hard to revive Nigeria. Tinubu's speech and address to Nigeria, sincere, says Kanu. My prayer to God is to visit those who are enjoying the wickedness, corruption, killing, hunger, impunity in this country called Nigeria with disaster in this 2025. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. But at the same time, you should also consider that some people are still, benefiting, making, legitimately, doing businesses in this particular time and at any money at the same time. So you can say people who are enjoying. But anyway, it is still your own opinion. Well, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of newspaper headlines on EBONADI 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once is 7 o'clock, so keep a date and don't touch the dial of EBONADI 103.5 FM. Once is 8:20 this morning, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a wonderful morning.
EBONADI 103.5 FM ODD presents Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Are you an upcoming model, actor, rap, R&B, gospel, reggae, or high life musician? Are you trying to find your footing on social media? Do you want to earn money with talents and skills? Do not look any further. Sign up for EBONADI 103.5 FM Media Talent Hunt and Skill Acquisition Show. Today, you will have the opportunity to learn and become an expert in video coverage, photography, film editing, music production, advertising and social media marketing, content creation, filmmaking, radio drama, magazine production, and many more. Register today at EBONADI 103.5 FM Ogidi, opposite Obunike Boys, inside European Residency Hotel Ogidi. For more information, call or WhatsApp 080 65 79 6599.
Abunya nambara mulo da gengem na. ọ na-abụ mbata Anambra steeti na-achọ ebe ife na-eme ọ dịka enwe ife na-akọ m ya m wee kpọọ ezigbote enyi m nwoke wee jụ ya kedu ebe ife na-eme na Anambra steeti ọ wee sị m ka ọ na m anụbeghị maka residency hotel dị ofe n'Ogidi m wee sị enyi m nwoke ọ gịnị na-eme na residency hotel dị ofe n'Ogidi ọ sị m chelụ sị m na ebe ọ na-achọ ịpịọ m na-abụ ole sị m na enwe executive rooms and suites n'Ogidi na residency sị m ka m ejego na dia restaurant ka aka na chef fadebelo den aka adọrọpịa mmụọ n'ebe a na-esi esi ka ọ kwalisie mkpa nwesịzịa m na m bịaja na dia outdoor arena ebe a na-eme ma wedding traditional marriage dedication naming ceremony shows and displays sị m na banwe swimming pool na ọkwa nwepụ ka weda si dị nkwụnye onwe m n'ime mmiri lozi afọ na enwe ife na-eme wee taa aka sị na ebe akụkọta ibe m na-eme aga m anọ na residency hotels dị ofe n'Ogidi ka nwa aṅụrị tọla ezi enyi m gwalụ m nwanne na residency hotel dị ofe n'Ogidi dị well secured in a serene environment ọ dị na kilomita 13 Old Enugu Onitsha Expressway solukwa m maka ana m ejede enwekwu nọmba onye m ga-eji buku ya na 08140933512 ana m akpọkwa just now ka m bukuo
Data you need for
EBONADI 103.5FM. Napapoa production. Police for vigilante. My business. When I will tell you HJ radio drama, Enrico. Enrico Mama, HJ radio drama, Enrico, Canada every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBONADI 103.5FM.
If you move, I finish your business.
amara m ire nwa adịghị amụ ụbọchị m na-aga n'obodo ndị anụ akọ na ya na-erikọ n'anya nke ka dịka nke bụ na ana m ahụzikwu n'anya ma ọ bụ
Ekwekwala ka akọlụ dị nke akọlụ.
103.5 EBONADI FM.
Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button right here. We rock. Okay. Remember to also, activate the notification button. That will enable you to know exactly what we are doing at the time. You should also, share this with your friends. Like the video. Thank you. We rock.